make economical apports for the country, but in the most of the cases of immigration, it is not the point. The people is leaving Mexico to go to USA for a better life or more money. And the people isn't doing economical apports for the USA. What do you think about it, Jorge, or I don't know, Diego?
Yes. Well, hello. I am Jorge. Um, I'm not really sure about this, but I think immigration can be uh, good for the country when the people who lives in that country can may enrich the culture, and also if these people who go living in another country is they if they are people who work, uh, I think in the case of the United States, the country has received a lot of positive support because many scientists and people with money, investors, have been able to live in the United States, and I think that in that case it is there are good apports. That's my opinion.
Well, uh, hello everybody. I'm Diego Marroquin.
Hello.
Well, let's say in United States, uh, they have they have more jobs than workers. So that is why the people immigrate to United States. I understand what I think it was Samuel, right? It was saying about immigration. If
Yeah.
you don't do economical support to the country, he was saying it's not good for the country. But I just want to ask him if he knows somebody from another country living in Mexico. Do you know somebody?
Oh, sorry, Diego. I
Yeah,
cannot hear.
yeah.
What
Do
was?
you know somebody that is from another country living in Mexico?
No, I don't.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's say like um, let's say like well, uh, one of my nieces married a Iranian guy. I mean it's from Iran. He immigrated from Iran because of the civil war over there. So he came to Mexico, and he was uh, uh, teacher on the Puebla University. And he didn't make any economical apports, but he was working in Mexico. He was, contribute. How do you say that, teacher?
I
Contribute,
think that you're right.
making contribution that caravans coming from. Thank you. That
Thanks.
and in this moment, with all that caravans coming from Latin America, you see a lot of bad things. But if the immigration it's in order with regulation, it's helpful for any country. Well, that's my point of view.
Oh, I'm agree with you, Diego. When I am saying that when I am talking about the economical support, I was saying that the people must work, the immigrants must work. But for example, the caravan, the people in caravan, not all the people want to work. For example, in Mexico, here we have a lot of immigrants from Honduras and another countries of Central America, but the people don't want to work. The people only want to have the money, and I don't know how to say estirar la mano, but the people
Yeah.
don't want to work. If you go to another country like an immigrant, um, okay, teacher, thank you to handing. If you want to go to another country like an immigrant, you must work in that country. Yes,
Yeah,
I'm agree with you, Diego.
yeah. That's
Mhm.
correct.
That's
Well,
true.
right now, I, the problem what I see in Mexico with all that caravans, it's uh, a lot of people just wanna came to United States because they think here they can have government support, and just because they somebody told them that United States it's the uh, best country in the world, but even here it's hard for immigrants like me.
Okay.
I came here like 20 years ago, and I've been working almost the 20 years because here nobody give it to you anything. It yeah, the government sometimes offer support to you, but most of the time you have to work. And even here, a lot of people just came and do bad things.
Yes, you're right.
Uh,
You're very
well,
welcome, teacher.
I want to say something. As far as I know, uh, when there was the civil war in Spain, a lot of people from Spain came to Mexico, and among these people who were running away from the civil war, uh, there were some artists and poets and musicians and also people who were industrials or that have some money, and they invested in Mexico. Um, so I think that it all depends on each person. Uh, let's see. For example, Mexican people who go to the United States, they all are looking for a better life, but some of them don't want to work. But I think that most of the people want to work, and they are honest people who want to make some money for their families, and if they don't have the opportunities here in Mexico, um, it is a good opportunity for them to support their families, making some dollars. Uh, I think that, for example, I have a colleague of us. She is married to a guy who is from Portugal, and as far as I know, he is a businessman, and he has contributed the city where he lives with with opportunities for some people who work for him. So I think it all depends on the people. Uh, I guess the government has to be very attentive to if people from other countries are working, if they are, uh, I mean, if they are good people in general, if they work, if they are positive, if they participate. The United States, as far as I know, is a country made up of people from Germany, from Italy, from Poland, from different countries, especially European countries. So I don't know. It's a difficult theme to talk about, but I would say yes. We have to be very respectful when talking about these topics, these issues. Yes, teacher.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Well, I think there are some pros and cons as everything. Maybe there are some people who are immigrant and maybe they can be running away from bad actions that they did in their country. But in my opinion, I think immigration can be helpful because most of these people are in a working age, so I think they can generate production for the country that they choose to be, and the activities that they do in that countries maybe are not so common for the people who live there. So I think it's the case of Mexican people who are in some other countries like Canada or United States, and they go to work in the well, in the production of fruits or whatever, that things that they do here. But in my opinion, I think it's a there are many pros, and they are more than the cons. It's my opinion.
I agree.
I agree too with what you say. Who was Erika?
Let me check.
Effie.
No,
It was
yes,
Effie.
I'm Effie, but let me check
Effie.
my victim.
I can go next.
Uh, who is N?
Me, Emiliano.
I don't know if you have participated.
Not yet.
Okay, you are my victim.
Okay. Thank you. There is a question, or is just my opinion about immigration? Well, I think nowadays it's a difficult topic because it's not just about people move to a place to another. It it has a it have a impact in the country, not just in the economic, as my colleagues mentioned. Yes, the people came to a country and they work, but also they need to use public institutions as schools, health, uh, I don't know, public services. So sometimes I think the countries can um, I don't know how to express, but they can with all the economic I don't know carga económica, uh, and also it has an impact in the cultural. I think it's a good thing, but also could be something not so comfortable for the native people because uh, there is strangers. Your neighbors are strangers, and sometimes could be xenophobic. I don't know if that it's a correct word on English, but at the same time, immigration is something that it's natural in our speed. Um, so I think it's good, but also has a lot of pros and cons. That's my opinion. And I choose Erica.
Hi, good night. Okay, I'm your victim. Well, I think that immigration is good for countries because you can know about other countries, about the people, about their traditions, about their meals, and it's important for economy because they bring their own culture. They can create new kinds of art. They can show how do they live in their own country through the photography, through pictures, through their wearing. It's emotionally healthy. It's an emotional healthy thing that we can learn from others. Because I have been also an immigrant, and for me it was difficult to leave my own country and to choose new culture, new friends, new school, new everything. It's not easy. It's so difficult because you are alone in another country. So imagine that you leave your country without your things, without everything. So you find in another country a new family. This is not unhappy thing. I have been living in Spain from 2004 until 2018. So for me was easy because the language, but it's not easy because I lost my few English that I have learned in Mexico. So, and in Spain, I lost all my pronunciation, everything, because they say things like Wi-Fi. So when I was there, I saw, for me that was like an insult. Uh, Wi-Fi, why no Wi-Fi? Why shampoo and no shampoo? Something like that. So was not good for my English, but for my soul, it was a beautiful experience. And I will repeat that as many times as I can do that. I was living with people from Asia, from Africa, from South America, from North America. Um, it's incredible. It's a thing that you never forget. So it's not only the money, because I went there with not too much money, because it's not easy for our budget to travel long distance like going to Europe, because Mexican peso has not an equal equivalence in euro. So I have been in the shoes from other immigrants, and they have been living like me in a very, very, how can I say, economical budget, something like reduced budget. So you can spend a lot of money in your life, because you must earn to pay the house where you live, all the meals, the transportation, and a lot of things that you must to buy without help from government, because government outside maybe help a lot of the immigrants, but not too much when you are a student. Or maybe if you say that you can create a Mexican restaurant or something like that, and you can find easy ways to start um, a new
Business.
business. Yes, thank you. So imagine I was living with people from Africa, and they can't afford the budget, the minimum budget to travel, for example. They must to walk every day and not to use the metro, for example. So it's interesting. It is difficult because when you are outside and you see the poverty near to you, you can't help. You want to help, but you can't, because you are in the same situation. We are a lot of Mexicans outside from Mexico, and we are helping our Mexican economy through an association called or named Global Mexican Network. And we are a group of Mexicans that have that we have university degrees like masters or PhD or something like that, and we are working for the country that we are living abroad, and we are helping from that place to Mexico. So it's not only economy. We must change our point of view. There are a lot of problems with immigration in Europe. Also here in Mexico, also here in Puebla, we have a lot of problems. But we could help them with our being tolerant and being helpful for them, even if they are not, how can I say, cordiales, educados with us. We must help them. Yes, they are, if even if they are not kind with us, because it's a stressful situation. Imagine that people that are working, imagine that people have not money or had only few money to walk along Mexico. So we should be kind with that people, because we don't know when could be in their own shoes or something like that. No sabemos en qué momento podemos estar en su situación. Yes. So that's my opinion about immigration. Thank you. My victim, I don't know if Effie has spoken.
Yes, I do.
Okay, Effie. Fair. Okay, fair.
Okay, good night. Well, it's so interesting to know about your life, Erika. I think that it's a good experience that you tell us. But well, I think about immigration. It's something hard. It's a difficult decision to take. But for example, maybe you go out to change your life, and as you say, Erika, you go with all your life, with all your culture, with all your baggage that you have in your mind. And I think that it's so difficult because in different countries they have different ideas to see the life. And I think that it's hard to be alone, a part of your family, and in a new country with a new language, with a new people, with a new food, something that it's new. And sometimes I know that maybe you can stay in a, I don't know, in a security house. I don't know if it's correct, in a security house, and maybe they can go out. They only go. Thank you, teacher. Refugee. You always go to work and then you come back to the refugee, and then maybe you stay alone, and maybe you stay in like a jail, for example. But I think that immigration helps to the economy country, because all the people that stay far away, they always work and give all their hours to stay there, because they need to earn money to back someday. Maybe some people back and the other people stay there. But I don't know, I think that it's so difficult and it's a hard life to stay there. That's my opinion. You're welcome. Yes, Alex is next.
Well, I think you say everything now. Well, what do I think about immigration? Well, I think there is different types of immigration. Some of them are good for the country, like you said. In the States, there are for the United States, Mexican people and other people from South America that go to work in the like in agriculture, the farms and those kind of things. I think is convenient for the United States. I heard they also do some construction or other labor things, like the ex-president Fox said, things that not even the niggers wants to do. And well, that's xenophobic, but that's what he said. And there are different types of migration. I think most of them are because there is a need or a problem, like you said, the Civil War or the worldwide first and second. There were a lot of immigration, but every situation is different or might be different. I heard about a boat. They were in the how you say Mediterranean, well, in Europe, a boat. Uh, they have a lot of people from Africa. They can't enter in any country. Nobody wanted. Nobody want them. In general, I think people suffer because they are leaving the country, their culture, and are facing another situation very different. If you go to China, for instance, it's very different. The meals, you suffer a lot to get meal that you want. It's an example, but every kind of every aspect of your life will be different from that from that part of your life when you immigrate. In the last day, you surely have heard about the caravans from South America. They are going across Mexico to the United States, and I think they are not immigrating to Mexico, but they are using Mexico as a bridge to the United States. I live in Toluca right now, and I have seen a lot of people here from South America. I think they don't have Mexico doesn't have control of everybody. I think it's a mess now, and that's what I think. And the last point, there is a lot of controversial opinions about the immigration because of the law, because the human rights. I don't know anything about it, but I have heard that you cannot stop the immigration. I have heard that you have the obligation as a country, as a government, of giving them certain way of treatment, a human treatment, or things like that. I don't know how to explain that. Well, that's my opinion. Okay.
Okay.
¿Qué asunto quieres?
Thanks, teacher. I have a question about the course. I know that you can hear me, but for example, today you sent us a message and you told about an medium exam. I don't know what, where.
Midterm.
Meter exam. Thank you. And is in this week or we have a specific day? Okay. Thank you, teacher.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Bye.
I hope you stay well, teacher, tomorrow and the next day.
Thank you.